Tony Romo. Who needs Dak Prescott? We got Tony back. That's right. So America's team. But I reversed the whole going to Tony Romo saga. Tony Romo going to Dak Prescott saga. That's what I meant. So we have Tony Romo leading America's team. And let's see how it goes. By the way, in real life, I believe the Cowboys are 1-2. They got destroyed by the Ravens, came back. Got destroyed by the Saints, did not come back. Beat the Brownies. And that's where we start. Week 1 versus the Cleveland Brownies. And they lose that game. Now, Romo, listen, okay. I know a lot of people see him as the announcer, or think of him as the announcer. He actually played for the Cowboys for a little bit of time. You know, like his whole entire career pretty much. And he was a great quarterback, just not a playoff quarterback. He was great in the regular season. Once he got to the postseason, it was, what do you call that? Choke City. Yeah, that's what we call it. He choked a lot when he got to the postseason. But in the regular season, he was actually really, really good. And he had a lot of upsides. And now with the squad he has right now in this video, with CeeDee Lamb, apparently Jalen Tolbert is the guy that he likes the most, though. And Brandon Cooks. Does he have a hat on? He has a hat on. I have never seen a player have a picture of Madden with a hat on. I have not done that many Cowboys videos this year, I guess. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, #1 offense going into the bye week, which actually looked pretty good. Their defense is 13th, and that was the biggest problem with the Ravens game, was their defense could not stop Lamar Jackson. Could not stop a cold, as they would say. That was their biggest problem in that game. Which we'll see how this goes the rest of this season. I mean, real life and in this game. Okay, they won again. Beat the 49ers, which usually is the biggest thing with the Cowboys. Now, in Madden, the Cowboys always usually have good records. I would say usually. Most of the time, they have good records in Madden. So, I'm expecting them to do good here. And so far, with an 8-3 record, that's exactly what's happening. Okay, 49-20 on the New York Giants. Bro, I know the Giants are bad. But that's just embarrassing. That's embarrassing, bruh. Alright, let's just see how this ends up turning out. They are playing the 8-7 Eagles. They beat the 8-7 Eagles. And they're going to go, arguably, 13-4? 12-5. And they don't win the conference because the 49ers that they beat went 15-2. Nice. At least we made the playoffs. At least this team, I said we, because I'm making this video. I'm not a Cowboys fan in real life. I'm the opposite of the Cowboys fan. I'm a Bengals fan. I don't know how those two things correlate, but listen, it is what it is. 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 4,300 yards, 1,200 yards for Zeke Elliott, and 23 touchdowns. Apparently, Tolbert is the guy. Is he him? Like, they just paid CeeDee Lamb, yet Tolbert's the guy who's getting all the love and attention. So, I guess maybe Tolbert is the guy. Who knows? In real life, he's actually not that bad either. So, 15 sacks from Micah Parsons. Hold up. Let me run that back. Okay. Interceptions and tackles for losses tied. My brain thought that I went through interceptions, and I thought Micah Parsons had 15 interceptions. I was about to be like, bro. What? Alright, well, that's not what happened. But overall wise, let's see. Who had the most interceptions? Drake May. Always happens. Romo comes in, very high on the list here. Touchdowns only 33, so not the greatest. MVP race, he actually came in number 4, so that's actually not the most horrendous. I mean, for the most part, the schedule isn't like atrociously bad for the Cowboys. They lost to the Ravens and the Browns, kind of like they did in real life, except, well, actually, no, they beat the Browns. They lost to the Saints in real life. But in this game, in this game, they actually only lost to They lost. They beat the Saints. But other than that, they lost to the Eagles, which is realistic. Lost to the Bengals, very realistic. And lost to the Commanders, which they always seem to struggle versus the Commanders. One game of the year. There's one game the Cowboys always struggle. So, wow, they're not one and done in the playoffs. I was going to make a joke that they were going to be one and done, but they're not. And somehow the Packers are 8-9 and in the playoffs. Bro, there's no way. There's no way, but that is like the most age-old joke of all time. The Cowboys always lose to the Packers at home. Always. It doesn't matter what happens. The Cowboys always find a way to lose to the Packers at an AT&T Bank Stadium or something. They always lose to the Packers. There's no way. I don't even know what the record is, but they never, ever, ever can beat the Packers at home in the playoffs. First of all, Cowboys winning in the playoffs is already a crazy sight to see. But even if they do win, they never play the Packers. It's like the second they play the Packers, they just completely collapse. They just give up on playing football. That's the automatic kryptonite. Like Superman has kryptonite, that is the Green Bay Packers for the Dallas Cowboys. It is over. The second they see, hey, we play the Packers next week, can it. Done. And in this franchise, the 8-9, 7-seed Packers go ahead and win the Super Bowl. Dang. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. And if you are a Cowboys fan, Packers.